Before we start, if you've ever felt betrayed in a way that cut at your dignity, please subscribe to the channel. These stories are about real people, real wounds, and real growth. And when this story ends, share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective matters. I didn't hear it from her first. That's what hurt the most. I heard it from my phone buzzing on the counter while I was tying my shoes, late for work. A message from a friend I hadn't spoken to in weeks. "Hey man, I don't know how to say this, but you should know what's being said about you." My stomach tightened before I even opened it. He sent a screenshot. A group chat I wasn't part of. My wife's name at the top. I love him, but honestly, he just can't please me. I stared at the words until they blurred. The room felt smaller. My ears rang. I read it again, hoping I'd misunderstood. I hadn't. She'd told our friends, people who sat at our table, who toasted our anniversaries, that I wasn't enough. I didn't confront her right away. I went to work like nothing had happened. I answered emails. I nodded in meetings. But inside something cracked. Looking back, the signs had been there. She'd been distant for months. Always tired. Always distracted. Her phone never left her side. When I touched her shoulder, she'd flinch like she'd forgotten I was there. When I asked if something was wrong, she'd sigh and say, "You're imagining things." So I believed her. Or I tried to. I told myself every marriage goes through dry spells. That stress does things to people. That love doesn't always look the same year after year. But then came the late nights. The girls' dinners that stretched past midnight. The way she laughed at messages and tilted her phone away from me. The way she started dressing differently, not for us but for somewhere else. I questioned myself first. Am I insecure? Am I overthinking? I hated the idea that I might be failing her in ways I didn't understand. The screenshot changed everything. That night I watched her closely. The way she moved around the kitchen. The way she avoided my eyes. The way she acted like nothing was wrong while my chest felt like it was caving in. Finally I asked, "Have you been talking about me to our friends?" She froze. Just for a second. Then she laughed. "What? No. Why would you ask that?" I showed her the screenshot. The silence that followed was loud. She sat down slowly like her legs had given out. She didn't apologize right away. She said, "I was venting. Venting." As if humiliation was harmless when shared privately. She told me she felt frustrated. That she felt neglected. That she didn't think it would get back to me. She said she was just being honest. I asked why she didn't talk to me instead. She didn't have an answer. Over the next few days, the truth came out in pieces. Conversations she'd had with one specific friend. Complaints that turned into comparisons. Emotional closeness that crossed lines before I even noticed they were there. Nothing explosive. Nothing dramatic. Just betrayal by 1,000 small cuts. Every memory started to sting. Dinners where she smiled across the table while thinking less of me. Gatherings where our friends knew something I didn't. Laughs that now felt like pity. I struggled with myself more than with her. Part of me wanted to prove her wrong. Part of me wanted to disappear. And part of me still loved her, which felt like the cruelest part of all. The turning point came one evening when she said, "I didn't mean to hurt you. I just needed to feel understood." I realized then that she wasn't just talking about frustration. She was rewriting our story without me. I told her something I hadn't planned to say. "You don't get to break me down to feel better about yourself." She cried. She admitted she'd crossed a line. That she liked the validation. That it felt easier to complain than to work on us. For the first time I saw guilt in her eyes. Not fear of losing me, but shame for what she'd done. I didn't yell. I didn't insult her back. I didn't try to win. I chose something quieter. I chose my self-respect. We separated soon after. Not because I hated her, but because I couldn't unhear the way she described me. Words have weight. And once spoken, they don't disappear. Healing didn't mean proving anything to her. Or to anyone else. It meant rebuilding my confidence without her voice in my head. Remembering who I was before I started measuring myself against someone else's dissatisfaction. Months later, I ran into one of those friends. He looked uncomfortable. Apologetic. He said, "You handled it better than most people would have." I didn't feel strong back then. I felt broken. But now I understand something important. Real strength isn't about making someone, eat their words. It's about refusing to live under them.